Hello lovely people, in today's video I'm going to run you through 5 things that I've learned from this year just gone, 2021. Completed it, mate. In this video I'm going to very quickly run you through my hectic 2021, and at the end I'm going to talk through everything that taught me, because I learned a lot this year. So let's start in January 2021. I actually did a 30-day gym challenge. You can watch the video from that here. And I also started a podcast. I was just kind of experimenting at this point. So I interviewed some really cool people. If you want to check out those episodes, they're down in the description. February, I left Girona and headed back to the UK. I also started partnerships with Billy and Tristina, the bike company, and ASOS, which obviously cycling kit. In March, I was a soigneur for drops. I got to go to loads of the classics, which was awesome, working with the women's team. I love the team environment, that's my jam. So being back at the races was something I really enjoyed, and being able to help other people. In April, I ended up presenting with Valon at the Tour of Flanders. This was, I didn't know this was on my bucket list, but this felt like very much a bucket list experience. I mean, the Ronde van Vlaanderen. Is it the greatest race of all time? Paris-Roubaix might have something to say about that, but it's up there on the list of iconic races, so that was a privilege. In May, I ended up going to the whole 3 weeks of Giro d'Italia with Valon. This was the first time I'd ever worked at a full Grand Tour, and it was fair to say that it was pretty nuts. Completely out of my comfort zone, interviewing riders. I actually got to interview Sagan. What? Pretty nuts. Straight after the Giro, I had a couple of weeks, and then I was off to the Tour of Switzerland with Valon. So Tour of Switzerland is I think it was 7 days stage race. I can't remember exactly how long it was. But anyway, there was a few days where they had the first ever women's Tour of Switzerland, which was so cool. So we actually did presenting for Valon on both the women's and men's races, which for me was personally a bonus highlight. Then shortly after the Tour of Switzerland, bombed it back to the UK for a bit. Then at the end of June was the start of the Tour de France into July. So June and July I was working with Skoda behind the scenes at the Tour de France. You might have seen on their channels, the We Love Cycling channels, I was doing like behind the scenes Instagram stories, making some videos, and honestly it was just totally a dream come true job. I got to go in a helicopter above the Tour de France. I mean, yeah, honestly, so grateful. Definitely one of the highlights of my life so far, doing that event. In August, I headed back to the UK. I ended up doing the Tour of the Peaks with the service course, which was a 3-day kind of staycation around the Peak District, hitting all those iconic climbs, Winnets Pass, Home Firth. It rained every day, but it was a really good trip, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I got to see some of my family in the North of England, so that was chef's kiss, excellent. After that, in August, I headed to Girona to find myself an apartment. Me and my friend Dina ended up finding a great place together where we are now super happy. So it was a little bit stressful in August trying to find a place, but we managed to nail it. Then in September was Road Worlds. I headed to Leuven in Belgium, and you'll have to check out the videos. I made a video every single day of the road races, so under 23 women's and men's road races. I made a little vlog, but just in general I love going to Road Worlds. I mean, I think it's one of the best one-day events. It's always got a different flavour every year depending on where they take it, but it's always a blast. There's loads of pop-up events, people riding their bikes, and the vibe is great. I used to actually live in Leuven, so it was doubly special because I stayed in the old house that I used to live in. I don't know if you've been following this channel a while. It's plenty of videos from near Leuven, Tilt Wingit in Belgium.
Happy birthday, Keira McVitty! Oh.
I am 26 years old. Go me. Then October, Dina and I moved into our flat in Girona. And then I actually was here maybe like 1 week, then I ended up going back to the UK, doing some presenting work. So I did some presenting for Zwift and Garmin, doing some like indoor training videos, which honestly at the start of this year I never really saw myself doing lots of presenting this year, but it's just kind of like how it fell, and through the opportunity through Valon I just was like, okay, we'll just keep going. And it's something that I really enjoy doing, and hey, 2022, there might be more, so who knows. In November, I was also back in the UK for Rouleur Live, which is an amazing bike show, exhibition, and I actually did some more presenting there with Rouleur, which was also super cool. Then another thing I did in November, which was kind of like let my hair down a little bit, I went to Ghent 6 Day. Ghent 6 Day is awesome, like any 6 day actually. It's just a real great party atmosphere. People are riding bikes, drinking beers, eating fruits. So now that I've retired from trying to be a cyclist, it was awesome to be kind of spectating and just hanging out with a group of mates.
Have a great 2022, everyone.
December was awesome. I love Christmas, so December is the festive month. So starting off the festive month, I did my first ever gravel race called the Flower Fest, which is organised by Classmark here in Girona, nearby. It was a team event, it was super awesome. I just ended up doing it on my mountain bike because I don't yet have a gravel bike, but it's definitely something I can see myself getting more into next year, or should I say this year, 2022. Then after the Flower Fest, coming up towards Christmas, I organised a Christmas Day fancy dress ride because I love fancy dress, I love Christmas, and I love riding my bike, so it joined all of those things together. And I actually ended up staying in Girona for Christmas, had a bit of a kind of misfit Christmas. People from all walks of life who ended up stuck in Girona for some reason. So we had a big spread of food and good vibes, good people, good food. Did I say good food twice? So that brings me on to the 5 things that I've learnt this year. But to be honest, I've definitely learnt more than 5 things this year. But I just thought, we'll give you the 5 hot takes of 2021. So, number 1 is that it's good to experiment both in your work life and your home life and your bike life, because you're always going to learn something from it. So for example, this year I started a podcast, I was experimenting with different styles of work, swan-yearing and presenting and production work and doing the YouTube channel, and also experimenting with different sports. So I did the gym challenge, I've been doing running, I've been trying swimming, all different things just to kind of test my limits. So I suppose the lesson is don't be afraid to take a risk and it not work out, because actually it not working out can teach you something really valuable about yourself. Number 2 is about life balance. Working a lot and traveling is great, but it's important to try and find a life balance between work and sport. Health, both mentally and physically, is so important to me, and it's something that's not always been completely right for me this year. And honestly, I just put it down to the fact that I wasn't riding enough, I wasn't doing sport enough, and I was working way too much. So going into 2022, I'm going to be working much harder to have a better life balance. So if you don't have your health, you ain't got shit. Number 3 is that we all have bad days. I know it's hard to admit. The inner perfectionist in me is dying, but we all have bad days. And this is something that I've had to remember kind of constantly through this year, through all the ups and downs. And it's something that makes me very grateful as well for having this community and this kind of place where I am inspired to keep riding my bike, keep making good content, and also inspire others to do the same. And I just want to thank you all really for continuing to support my content, my videos, support this channel in any way you can, because it also motivates me to keep going through those bad days and just keep smiling basically. Number 4 is that we are all much more capable and awesome than we think. It has been a crazy couple of years and we are all still here fighting away, just keeping going, and that is the key. Just keep chugging away, keep going, and you will get there. Number 5, which is possibly the best point of all of the points, is riding your bike 99 times out of 100 will make you feel better. You will feel better mentally, you will feel better physically. It honestly doesn't matter how long you're going, but just getting out there, getting some fresh air, moving your body is so important just for all round everything life. You're going to feel much, much better. And bonus is just be kind to yourself. That's something I've been thinking about a lot because we haven't seen each other as much over the last few years. One act of kindness could literally change someone's life, and it's something that I want to practice more in 2022, is just small acts of kindness. I probably learned other things during 2021, and I think it's really nice. The new year gives you time to reflect on the past year and make really positive plans and change into 2022. But I think for me, it's just about not taking on too much. I've chosen much more specific goals this year going into next year. So be sure to subscribe to this channel because I'll be bringing you a video sharing all my 2022 goals very soon, and there's some really exciting ones that I want to share with you. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and as always, keep risking it for a biscuit. Have an awesome day. Boop, boop.